You just casually mentioned that you got $10,000.
Yeah.
Ken was able to get $10,000 in grants to fund his business idea. Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. On this channel, I share information on finance, entrepreneurship, and lifestyle. And as you can see, I have a guest today. By name, Ken.
The one and only Ken in the BC.
Ken is a very good friend of mine, and we have been planning this video for years.
I know, right? Like it's been months.
Long overdue.
It's been months in the making, but finally
here
we are. So my name is Ken in the BC. Currently, I am marketing director at Knowledge, where we basically help small businesses and also people who want to get into tech. We help them using AI to build a business and make more money for themselves.
Interesting. Ken is also a content creator. He has a YouTube channel and plenty followers on Instagram as well. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, today we are discussing running an online business in Canada, and I feel Ken has a lot of value to bring to you. So I have a few questions for you.
Okay, let's go.
Let's get into it.
Yep.
So I know you already told us what you do. But can you tell us, like, in terms of online businesses, what ways can you make money in Canada running an online business?
Yeah, so there are several things that you can do to make money online. And I think, first of all, it's good to make that clarification that you can literally run an online business from anywhere in the world, right? That's the entire point of it being online. Everybody is literally online. So essentially, your customers can be in literally any location in the world, and you have the possibility of reaching them. So that's one of the main benefits of running an online business, right? But what I'm going to say is that if you're in a country like Canada, there's many benefits, or like there's several benefits to running a business from here. First of all, the fact that you have access to funds, which is a lot of things people don't like to talk about, right? There's access to many different funds, and then grants. You have different grants as well, and then you also have access to many resources that you might not have access to in different places. So running an online business here is really profitable if you learn how to do it right, and it's honestly something I would encourage anybody, at least everybody, to actually start doing. Yeah, to be honest.
Okay, so like, can you be a bit more specific and tell me some businesses that you found profitable in Canada? Okay,
yeah, so there's several businesses that I've seen be very profitable, right? I know for myself and for a few friends that I know, the first one that comes to mind is obviously e-commerce, right? Being able to buy and sell products online. If you've heard about like Amazon, there's Amazon dropshipping, there's Shopify dropshipping, there's Amazon FBA. So there's obviously e-commerce, which is also good. Then the next business model that I've seen a lot of people have massive success with is any type of service-based online business. So I'm talking about agencies, right? Where you're offering a service, you're basically just providing a service to businesses or consumers, right? That's probably one of the easiest ones to get into. If you're at any skill level, you can literally start a service-based online business in Canada. So those two are the primary ones. Now there are other newer models that are coming up, and with AI taking the reign right now, there are new business models that you can simply just plug in AI and get many benefits from those online businesses.
What do you think are some of the challenges that businesses encounter in Canada?
So I'm going to talk strictly from the point of running an online business. I feel like one of the first challenges that people face, well, I won't actually call it a challenge, I'll be specific here. I feel like, first of all, there's this misconception that people have, and some people see it as a challenge, right? Where they think that they need to go through all the process of registering a business and sorting it out. But that can be different. Like if you're running an offline business, right? That's when those things are compulsory. But if you're running an online business, right, you don't need to worry about all those things getting started. And I see so many people hold themselves back from starting a business because they feel like they need to get all this registration done and be compliant and all these things. There's something that my professor in school used to say, that it's better to do something and then make apologies than to start to not even do it at all and just be looking for different excuses. And I think that that's one thing a lot of people do, especially when it comes to online business. They're trying to sort out things like getting a website before they get started, or getting registration and all those things. Like, you don't need any of those things. All you need is just to start, right? Once you've gotten your first customers, you've tasted blood, right? You've gotten your first sales, then you can start budgeting about all those things. So I think that that's like the biggest challenge you're not going to have much challenges. I mean, every business has challenges. You're going to run into challenges regardless. But like if you get started, most of the other challenges that you're going to face as someone running an online business are things that you can easily surmount by asking someone who's already an expert at it or someone who has experience in it.
And also, you don't want to waste your time doing business registration, running all of these websites and setting up all of these things when there's possibility that you might even decide to cancel that business, or maybe you don't even eventually make money from it. So it's better for you to start making money, get your first clients, get everything else in place, then you can worry about getting the legal part of it on. Well, you're already making money, you can report your profit whenever. You can also decide to register a sole proprietorship if you don't want to like go big into incorporation, and all of that can come later on.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, like thinking about it now, I've never had any business where I started off with and then my first customers started or decided not to work with me because I didn't have any business registration. Like it has never happened before, right? Because when you want to work with people, they're coming to you based on the value that you can provide. So if you lead with that, right, this is literally, here's what I can do, here's what I offer, where do I pay for it, where do I sign up? That's literally what the business starts off at. So if you are thinking of starting any business and you have to start worrying about getting the registration and all these things done, you should probably not do that business, or you should probably not start off with that business, right? That's like a good sign that you shouldn't start off with something like that. If it involves you doing all the whole legal steps and everything, like start off with something else and move into an online business.
In summary, get your first clients first before you worry about the rest of the thing. Okay, so I know we kind of touched on a little bit of this part, but what would you say is the first step for a beginner who is looking to run a business in Canada?
All right, so the first thing you want to do, the first thing that I think you need to get your mind set on, the first thing, right, which is you just need to set up your mindset that this is what you want to do, right? I feel like many people don't even decide this at the start, like this is actually what they want to do. So you need to be clear that this is I do want to run a business. And what being clear means is like you need to understand that there's trials and tribulations that's going to come with it, but you just need to be ready for it. That's the first thing. The second thing you need to do is define who you want to serve. Like, who are your customers? Who exactly do you want to work with, right? Like for my business, I know that it's people who actually want to either switch careers into a non-coding role in tech, or business owners who need help with marketing. Like I'm really specific about the people that I want to work with, and that influences the messaging I put out, the kind of content that I'm creating to attract this kind of customers. So you need to know who are these people and what exactly do they do, like where do they reside online, what do they look like. You need to know all those things first, and then after that you can now start going into like the nitty-gritty, the technicalities of like how to find them, how to run ads to get them, and the offering, like what you're actually selling to them. That's really important, right? So those three things are like the most important things you need to start off with.
So first one, identify your business goal. Second one, identify your target audience. And lastly,
the offer, like what exactly are you offering to them?
What exactly are you offering to your customers?
Yeah.
I know you started your business as an international student. So tell us, is it possible to own a business or run a business as an international student in Canada?
I know many people will be very interested in what my answer is to this question. And so the first question is, I'm just going to cover the legal side of things, right? Yes, according to the law, it's perfectly legal for you to start and run an online business, right? That's what I'm going to say. And then this is also another reason why I recommend starting off with an online business, because when you're running an online business, most online businesses don't require as much time as an actual physical business would involve, right? So if you're doing like a business like vlogging or content creation, there are not any rules that are going to say, oh, like you can't do this for more than 40 hours per week, right? Like you can literally spend as much time as you want to in your private time setting up your business. So that's part of the reason why I encourage, especially people who are international students, try and start something that is online, because you have more leverage in the online space than if you started something offline. If you're doing it offline and you are a student, like you're studying, you have to worry about school, you have to worry about like moving logistics and stuff. So it's really hard if you're doing something physical. Don't fall into the trap of people thinking, oh, you only need to do something offline in order to make money. There are many types of businesses that you can work with online, and they are completely legal. You don't have any problem. And like I said, don't start worrying about registration and all those things. get your first customers without doing any of that. And then when it's time, I feel like naturally you would know when it's time to start worrying about like documentation and getting your registration and all that, right? But it's completely legal, so you don't have any issues running an online business as an international student.
Okay, that's a very interesting answer. From what it seems like, you've been prioritizing online business. I know this topic of this video is all about online businesses, but what would you say is the reason why you prefer running an online business compared to actually running a physical business?
Yeah, so first of all, I think the main answer I'll give you is like customer base, right? There's a massive customer base online. I don't think people realize how much, like, this right here is a complete evidence. Right? People underestimate the amount of people that you can get interested in your business and getting to work with you just by being online. And I think my preference for online business comes from the fact that it is the new thing, right? It is where the world is going towards, right? We see all the developments with AI, the entire innovations and stuff. So it's really clear that this is where the world is going to. And for those who are going to take advantage of it, you are in a vantage position. Like, I'm not going to start a business competing with someone like Dangote, right? Like, who am I going to start from, right? But online, you have a chance to compete with anybody, literally, because it's like the playing field is that wide. So that's just the main reason why I encourage people to do it. The second reason is because the resources needed to start an online business are literally not that much compared to any type of offline business. Check it out, like any type of offline business you might want to start, the resources you're going to put into would be a lot. But most online business, especially the ones I've described to you here, like a service-based business, like copywriting, like email marketing, like ads, you can literally start it just by having your phone. So the cost of starting the business itself is a huge motivator. I think those two things, if not anything, the fact that your audience is literally massive, and then the fact that the cost to start a business is so low, I think those two alone, among a ton of other reasons, I think those two alone are the primary ones for me.
And I think to add to that is that it's also beginner friendly. If you're someone that you're trying to minimize your risk, you can start with an online business where you see how things go, and if you decide that this business is for you, then you can decide to scale it. But if you decide that this business is really not for you, you wouldn't have invested so much in getting an office space, employing people, buying furniture and all of these things, only for you to discover that this business, I'm not sure I really want to run it in the long run.
Exactly, yeah.
I know your business involves AI, but what would you say are your thoughts on using artificial intelligence to run a business?
Yeah, so I think, as you all know right now, AI is taking over the entire world, right? Generative AI, ChatGPT, Midjourney, these tools are taking over everything right now. My main opinion, or my first opinion about AI right now is that if you are new to AI, you need to actually get on the wave right now, because it's also what is actually moving on. In fact, interestingly, it's one of the main reasons why my business was able to get over $10,000, because my idea was tied to something related to AI. That just shows you that. Let
me add to that, because you just casually mentioned that you got $10,000. Yeah. Ken was able to get $10,000 in grants to fund his business idea. Continue.
Yeah. Yeah, so like it's really interesting because the initial idea I had, it wasn't even about AI, but then when I saw how the world was moving and then I decided to latch onto this trend, I was able to secure $10,000 for my business, which is really crazy when you think about it, right? Like just the fact that I had the AI element to my business. And so I think that most businesses are going to benefit from AI. I don't think AI is going to like replace many businesses that exist right now. Like for example, I have a cohort where I teach people about copywriting, email marketing and ads, and we also teach them how to use AI, right, for these skills, right? So AI is not going to replace those people. I've had students asking, oh, is AI not going to replace like the copywriters and the email marketers? I'm like, no, AI is going to help them. So you want to be the person that AI helps in their business, not the person that doesn't know how to use AI at all. Because trust me, there's no way you're going to live without those tools in the nearest future, right? So it's better that you acquaint yourself with them and learn how to use it. But honestly, I feel like you actually need to jump on the AI trend right now. Like it's not too late. It's literally ChatGPT was like 6 months.
Year.
Yeah, it was like last year. Yeah, it was just launched. So like you're super early to that wave. I will encourage you to jump on it.
So long story short, you would not be replaced by AI, but you'll be replaced by those who use AI.
Exactly.
I know we live in Canada, and taxes is a very important part of any income that you're making. So what do you know about taxes in Canada for businesses?
Yeah, so taxes is actually a pretty interesting topic. It's not something that a lot of people like to discuss in public, and it's also something that is a bit multifaceted. If you're someone like, let's say you're an international student, also this is where I would emphasize tax education, right? Because I feel most people like to leave their tax to it's just something that the attorneys or the tax consultants should do. And it's like, no, like you need to actually know about this thing, right? The reason why I'm able to, make some tax decisions that don't really affect my business is because I know what the rules are. Like a friend of mine would say, like, I read the manual, right? So I know how tax works. But I would say for taxes, you need to actually get educated. Don't get on the wrong side of the tax. That's what I'm going to say. But you need to understand how it works. And if you do, everything is going to be fine.
The most important thing that I picked up from what you said is to educate yourself on how the tax system works.
Yeah.
Because tax situation for everyone can be different. So you want to make sure that you are learning what's there, what you could take advantage of, and you can seek professional help if need be. I know you've given a lot of tips and helpful information. What final advice or general advice do you have for people that are looking to run online businesses in Canada?
So the first thing I'm going to say is that you need to just get started, right? Start with something that is super low risk. I wouldn't advise you going into e-commerce to start off with because it involves money to get started with. I would say for every beginner out there who wants to start an online business, the best type of online business I would advise you to get started with is a service-based online business. So something like copywriting, where you can learn how to write copy for businesses. Something like email marketing, like you can literally get a client, pay you, minimum wage in Ontario is about $15 an hour. So just reason with me, if you have a client that's paying you minimum wage, $15 an hour comes out to about $2,000 per month, or let's say $2,400. When you take out the taxes, that's about $2,000 per month, right? If you're working freelance and you're doing copywriting for businesses, if you get 10 businesses paying you for freelance, you're literally at $20,000 per month, which is crazy when you think about it, but there are actual people doing this. There are actual people making money running a freelance service-based online business, just delivering copywriting services. Same thing with email marketing, same thing with paid ads. So I would say to start off with something that's super low risk like that, where you're also getting the benefit of learning an actual skill, right? Because I actually teach people how to do this, right? So I would say start off with something like that. Then the next thing I would say is just believe it's possible. Like I was watching a TikTok video where they were asking actual Canadians, right? Like what's the possibility of you starting your own business or making millions from your business? And many people in that video said that they don't even think it's possible to make that kind of money. And it was really crazy to me to think about, because these people have already defeated themselves in their mind. Like they don't even believe it's possible. So if you don't even believe it's possible, where are you going to start from, right? I think I'm someone from day one. I just believed that this was possible. I've seen people do it. I know it can be done. It's just now for me to go do it for myself. So that's just what I'm going to say. If you're someone who wants to do it, I just need to tell you that it can be done.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
I think we might need to have a part 2 for this video because I still have more questions for you. I would like to know your take and things you would love to share about how businesses can get sales, because that's the biggest challenge most online businesses would face in the early stage, on how to get sales, how to find customers, how to reach their target audience, how to position themselves strategically to be able to reach the right audience and make money from it. Yeah. So if you would like to see a part 2 or you'd like to see Ken answer those questions, leave a comment below and we're going to get that video to you. Anyway, that's all for this video. If you enjoy watching it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them below. Ken will be in the comments answering all of your questions. Don't forget to check out Ken's socials. The links are below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.